What's up, everybody? It's your boy A.P.BLACK, and I'm back once again, just really quickly, to talk to you guys about some things that I've been noticing. And I'm not shocked, but I'm kind of taken back by the way that this season of transformation and change has brought about a lot of things that people refuse to deal with, and they cling on to this notion that um, we're gonna walking away from things that don't serve you. Walking away from things that don't serve you. I've been hearing that a lot. I've been seeing that on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere in between about people who are in transformative situations and circumstances right now, and they think that the best thing for them to do is to walk away. And a lot of people don't come to me for advice because I'll tell you the truth. And here's the truth. You're a fucking moron if you think that that's the right thing to do. Period. You're not thinking. You're not thinking. That's the problem. Is that a lot of people don't understand that when situations don't serve you, a lot of times it's because you haven't chosen to look at the situation in a different light. And a lot of times situations that don't serve you come from you not being in a place to understand that there is something or there are things in that situation that serve you. And a lot of times it's the lessons that you need to learn from being in those situations in the first place. Now, when everything doesn't always work out for everyone. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea to leave a relationship. You getting fucked up, niggas beating your head in. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that sometimes when you feel like you're doing everything and you're not getting the result you want, there is a cycle in your thoughts and your feelings and your actions that may need to be broken from you and not someone else. So to put yourself in a situation where you're now walking away from a relationship because you say it doesn't serve you, I can almost guarantee that at whatever point you didn't, complete the cycle of changing your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And the results are a combination of three factors, those thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And each of those factors has an impact on the other. So that's why it is a cycle. How you think interacts with how you act. How you act interacts with how you feel. And every time your thinking grows, your actions will grow as well. And every time your actions grow, your feelings will grow. And every way you want to put that. Your ability to solve problems and make decisions influence how you feel and what you do. Feelings are your filter for the world, and they influence your decisions you make. And actions create effects in your world that feed back into how you feel. So that's kind of the way that goes about that. And when you interrupt how you're thinking to solve a problem, some of the things that you can do are to read books, brainstorm, ask someone for ideas, ask someone for help, or create a plan of action. A lot of times people's vision boards are their ways of changing or interrupting their thinking during that cycle, and so they can act accordingly or feel accordingly. Or in order to interrupt your feelings, you can keep a journal, you can write, surround yourself with positive ideas, people, change your posture to trigger emotional changes. I don't know if you guys know about power stances. They trigger an emotional response. And ask yourself, what is positive? Like if there are things that are going on that are negative, try to influence your feelings by giving yourself this feeling of, well, there are things that are positive about what's happening. You can interrupt your actions by doing a personal experiment. Start working on a new idea, change a habit, stop doing something that, is not good for you, or give yourself a unique experience. And a lot of times, people just hop right on stop doing something. And that's actually not the best way to grow all the time. And that's why I said that, is that some people think that just walking away from things is enough. And it's actually, even as a last resort, it doesn't help you to grow in that situation, and you grow elsewhere. And even so, that's fine if that's what you choose to do. However, you also have to acknowledge that with a growth elsewhere, you are leaving whatever lessons that you may have needed to learn in the future of that relationship, or partnership, or anything in between. You are leaving those things. So just because you don't learn them in that relationship, just because you don't learn them in those circumstances, doesn't mean you won't learn them further down the road. So when people make decisions based off what's easier, to stop doing something based off what's easier is the wrong decision, because chances are you'll have to learn those lessons somewhere down the road. And that's the feeling that I was getting to earlier in my discussion, where I said a lot of people are just abandoning their whatever circumstances may have had them distraught. Some people that's necessary, but a lot of people, I feel like it's just um, in alignment with doing what's easier for them. And nothing great is easy. I can promise you that. So, I hope those tips kind of helped you guys really quickly, and just thinking about what to do next. It's a huge process sometimes, but I would always start with thinking. Thinking is the first way that I get over my times of trouble. It's the first way that I get through breaking my cycles, because once you think a certain way, you'll act a certain way. Once you think in love and positivity, you'll act in love and positivity, and then you'll feel it. You know what I mean? So the reality is that at first you get control up here in your mind, and once you have that, everything else will follow. And if you can't, then act a certain way. There are times when I know people will say things to anger me, and instead of being angry, I will act different. What's my emotional response to when I'm angry? I'll not talk to someone. So instead, I'll have that conversation, because a lot of times people think that by walking away from things, again, that by not having those conversations, again, by not doing what is actually needed to grow, that you will be able to grow. And that's just not a fact. That's unfortunately the reverse. If I need to have a conversation in order to grow, but I choose not to have that conversation, then I'm not going to grow at that moment. Eventually I may mature into something or someone else who is able to do just what I need to do to grow. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of times it doesn't just come in an easy way. So unfortunately, if you are looking to grow, if you watched this video because you felt like you wanted to break a cycle, I can tell you right now, this is not going to be easy. And there are going to be a lot of things that you think along the way suck. But at the end of the day, it's more beneficial than not. I can promise you. Like, nobody wants to be that person who is the same person and they need to grow. I've been told, oh, you're the same person, but that's from more of a state in which, I haven't changed my personality. Like, I still like to have fun and make jokes and talk to people. And that's a good way to not change. That's a good way to not change. That's a good thing to keep. However, if I still had the same mindset as I did when I was in high school or maybe middle school about, relationships or, even friendships, then those are things that don't serve you. Those are the things that don't serve you, not the people. It's the thoughts about the people that don't serve you. Because quite frankly, just because someone wants to be something different or think different, it doesn't mean that they aren't serving you. Your thoughts could not be serving you more so than that other person. or your feelings could not be serving you more so than that other person. Even your actions could not be serving you more so than that other person. So stop putting that on other people. Stop telling people that they're toxic. Stop that shit. Because once you do that, you put that energy onto them and you never actually take accountability for what you're doing. What are your thoughts and what are your actions and what are your emotions? So I hope we cancel that culture pretty fucking soon. I'm tired of being told about people in toxic ass relationships and this, that, and the third. And I was like, well, both y'all was toxic. At the end of the day, all you have to do is grow. Grow. You know, there's the how can something be toxic if you can grow past it? How can something be toxic if you all you have to do is have a conversation, change your way of thinking? And I know I said all you have to do as if that's some easy shit to do, but no, it's actually, like I said, stop blaming other people. Stop. Because once you keep doing that, you're never going to put yourself in a situation where you can grow. And at the end of the day, I came to drop you guys this gem because I know it's worked for me. I know that I stopped blaming people for why things didn't work out because I realized that I was thinking in ways that didn't serve me. So it's not about who served me or who didn't serve me. It's about how are you serving yourself. Stop putting that onto people and telling them that they aren't serving you because of who they are. They are them. Accept them for who they are and let them be them. And then figure out how you can be you around them. There is a difference when you grow and you know that who you are is who you are. Who someone else is who they are. Now, the reality is that some relationships may not serve you. But it's not that the other person didn't serve you. Because you could have changed. At any given point, you could have changed. You could have changed your mind. You could have changed your way of thinking. You could have changed your outlook on life. But you chose to stay stuck in that shit. So don't put that on someone else. Don't tell someone else that they're toxic because you chose to think a certain way. We have to really cancel that culture if we're going to be able to progress as a society. At the end of the day, I cannot tell someone how they think is toxic because it is not how I think. And just like we don't like people to put things onto other people because someone is a homosexual and we don't want to offend their homosexuality, you're talking to a whole person and you're telling them that they are something. And in actuality, they're just being themselves. I don't like that shit. I don't like that toxic word that we've been throwing around lately. That shit's been pissing me off. And it's not because people have said it to me, but it's because you're telling someone that who they are is toxic. And a lot of times, they're just being them. Help them grow, sweetheart. Don't sit here and tell them that who they are is toxic and they need to get the fuck away from you and this, that, and the third. Nah. Be a person who they can come to and say, damn, this person is an example of how I should be. This person is accepting me for who I am. Now, whether or not y'all can see things on the same page is irrelevant. As long as you are allowed to be who you are. What we agree or disagree about is irrelevant as long as I can be me when I'm around you. I don't need you to think what I do is toxic or not. I don't need you to think how I think is toxic or not. But allow me to be myself in your presence. Or I won't be in your presence. Allow other people to be themselves in your presence, or they won't be in your presence. And that's the reality. It's like nobody has to be told that they're toxic. Nobody has to be pointed the finger at. Nobody has to be to blame for anything. Because quite frankly, we're all here for one experience, which is to learn. We're all here with the same intentions, which is to build families, find people we love, and get through. You know? We don't have to do anything. Nobody's forcing you to do shit. And quite frankly, we've all been given free will. So the fact that things aren't going in the way you like, but you're still choosing to be in a situation is not on nobody. You can't press nobody and say, you did this and you did that and you think this way and now you're toxic. Nah, cancel that shit. Change your thinking. Change your approach. Change the way that you act. Change the way that you feel. And I bet you the situation will change entirely. It's your boy A.P.BLACK. I just came to drop a quick gem on y'all. I appreciate y'all for listening. I love y'all. It's been a great day full of peace, prosperity, and harmony. Peace. Oh, shout out to the ladybug on my window. That's hella confirmation right now that whatever I'm saying was, I don't know, worth it or a good idea. Peace.